Our next concept is steady state. Steady state is reached either when rate in is equal to rate out or when values associated with dosing interval are the same as those in the previous interval. Plateau principle. The time to reach steady state is dependent only on the elimination half-life of a drug, and it is independent of dose size and frequency of administration. To achieve steady state is necessary for the maintenance dose. Here the concept of steady state is illustrated with the help of graph. The graph is plotted between time on x-axis and plasma drug concentration in microgram per ml on y-axis. For example, you administer a drug of 100 microgram per ml. Its half-life is 4 hours. It will come down on a trough level, then it will go above, and it will achieve the 50, it is half-life. Then it will go above and come down, then it will again be half, that is 75, and again it will go above and down. So it will take 4 to 5 half-lives to achieve the steady state. This is the minimum effective concentration and this is minimum toxic concentration, and the interval in between them is known as therapeutic index. This slide explains how we get the steady state. You could get half steady state in 1 half-life, 90% steady state in 3.3 half-lives, and to get the clinical steady state it needs 4 to 5 half-lives. It is an important MCQ. To achieve the mathematical steady state, more than 7 half-lives are needed. Although it takes more than 7 half-lives to reach mathematical steady state, by convention clinical steady state is accepted to be reached at 4 to 5 half-life, as we have seen in the previous graph. Rate of infusion is another perspective. Irrespective of rate of infusion, it takes the same amount of time to reach the steady state. It does determine the plasma level at steady state, however. A similar relationship can exist for other forms of drug administration, e.g. per oral. Doubling oral dose can double the plasma levels of drug. Plotting dose versus plasma concentration yields a straight line linear kinetics, as we have studied in previous chapter. The concept is more clear from this slide, as you can see that if you inject 5 different infusion rates, maintenance doses, all have the same time to achieve the plateau concentration. It takes 4 to 5 half-lives to achieve steady state, but sometimes you cannot wait that long, so you need to achieve steady state more immediately. In some situations, it may be necessary to give a higher dose, loading dose, to more rapidly achieve effective blood levels. To achieve more rapidly the steady state, that dose is called loading dose. Such loading doses are often one time only and estimated to put into the body the amount of the drug that should be there at steady state. Why it is one time only? Because it is potentially dangerous due to large amount of drug that is given in the form of bolus. If doses are maintained at each half-life of a drug and the minimum effective concentration is equivalent to CSS minimum, then the loading dose is twice the amount of the maintenance dose. Simply you remember that if the maintenance dose is 100 microgram per ml, then the loading dose will be double, that will be 200 microgram per ml. Assuming normal clearance and same bioavailability for maintenance dose. These are the some conditions necessary for loading dose. So the equation for loading dose will be C plasma concentration in the plasma and volume of distribution. Here we take the example of digoxin, that's half-life is 2 days and it takes 8 to 10 days to reach the steady state. In case of arrhythmia, we cannot wait for that long. So if you give the maintenance dose, it will take 8 to 10 days to reach the steady state. Hence, we give the loading dose to achieve the steady state more rapidly. So the effect of loading dose can clearly seen in this graph. It was all about pharmacokinetics that included absorption, distribution, metabolism, biotransformation, and elimination kinetics.